Hello, testing, testing, 1, 2. Hello, hello, hello. Friends, how are you doing today? Welcome. Welcome. Hope you're doing great. I am going live to you today to answer your questions about immigration law. And I know what's on your mind right now. Donald Trump. Donald Trump and his tweet from last night to suspend immigration. Temporarily suspend immigration. I'm ready to answer your questions about it. Let's talk about it. I went live last night. I answered a bunch of questions. People are hitting me with more questions. We have a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. Let's see if anybody's out there. If you're out there, let me know. I'd be happy to answer your questions. We have Johnny Howdy from Dallas. Howdy from Dallas. Love Dallas. Went to high school in Richardson, North Dallas. So was a big Mavericks fan back in the day. Thank you for your question. Good to see you. So let me give you my thoughts on this tweet after a long night of questions and answers. I think that this will probably play out very similarly to the Muslim ban, the travel ban, where we had this big announcement that Donald Trump was banning all Muslims from entering the United States. And everybody said, this is ridiculous. You can't discriminate based on religion. You can't do that. This will never fly in court. And then there were the injunctions and the circuit appeals, and then it went to the Supreme Court, and then it went through several iterations and changes. And what we were left with the Muslim ban is something they called the travel ban, and then it was the travel ban 2.0 or 3.0. I can't even remember. But what we're left with is something that's akin to a political stunt. That's what the Muslim ban was. It was a political stunt. My office has helped people get green cards at consulates around the world for people who are subject to the travel ban or the Muslim ban, whatever you want to call it. There's a waiver. There's a way to get these cases approved. So I'm not so afraid of the travel ban anymore. It's not a complete ban on travel. We have Bhaskar watching from India. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. But back to what I was saying, with the Muslim ban or the travel ban, the actual impact of this is far less severe than what it claims to be. So when people say that he's going to ban all immigration, first of all, I had one client who said to me this morning, well, I just want to wait and see what he comes out with later today to see what his executive order is. And I said to him, listen, the exact meaning of this travel ban, of this suspension of immigration, is going to be very unclear for a long period of time. Because once Trump comes out with an executive order, there's going to be lawsuits and injunctions. Those are going to go to the circuit courts, and they're eventually going to go to the Supreme Court. And I think it won't be for several months until we learn exactly what this means. Emmy, good morning. Good to hear from you. So there's going to be a long period of confusion. And this is by design. Because this is a political stunt. That's what this is. Donald Trump wants every newspaper in the country and every media outlet to be focused on his suspension of immigration. Because what he doesn't want you to be thinking about is why the United States lags so far behind other developed countries in its testing of the coronavirus. Why is that? Or, for example, why is it that the trillions of dollars that were meant to bail out small businesses, why did that money go to large public companies like Shake Shack and Ruth's Chris Steakhouse? Why didn't they go to simple mom and pop's businesses? Those are the things that Trump does not want to talk about. What did the Trump administration, what if anything did the Trump administration do to help Americans with this public health crisis during the month of March? Okay? They don't have any answers for this. They don't want to talk about this. They would much rather throw some meat to their base and ban immigration. The United States the coronavirus is here in the United States. We cannot prevent this health problem by banning immigration. It's already here. It's being transmitted through the community in the United States. So sealing our border, even if we could stop every single immigrant from entering the United States, it would do nothing to prevent the coronavirus and its horrible impact on the United States. No man. Thank you for your question. You say, I'm a U.S. citizen. In my wife's case, I filed an I-130 and I-45 under process after his tweet. Will her case stop or stop processing? I doubt it. I think you should go forward with this case. You should go forward with it, and don't let yourself be distracted by what the orange man tweets. Do not. Rhoda, my main man, hello from Boston. Great to hear from you. Thank you for tuning into this. He's my new best friend, that guy. If anybody needs their car detailed in the Boston area, that's the guy you want to go to right there. Yeah, he said it's to protect jobs. Yeah, that's interesting. It's to protect jobs. Protect jobs from whom, right? What's contradictory to me is that the coronavirus is supposed to be not a big deal to Trump. He wants to reopen the economy on May 1st. He has it totally under control. And he even is disregarding the advice of the Centers for Disease Control, and he won't wear a mask. He says, you should wear a mask, but I won't do that. So in his eyes, and he's tweeted support for these crazy protesters who are want people to go back to work without any PPE or any testing. So he is supporting those who are undermining public health. But at the same time, he's just bashing immigration. That's all he knows how to do. He doesn't know how to fix a public health crisis other than to go back to his old playbook of bashing immigrants. Joni says, no American I know would voluntarily do the work that an immigrant does. Immigrants, they get the job done, right? That's what they say in Hamilton, and it's so true. America is immigration. It's what we do. It's who we are. And America could no more shut the doors on immigrants than it could remove the entire Constitution. This is our nature. It's who we in. What would we do without them? We would starve. Yeah, already he's talking about carve-outs for farm workers and carve-outs for medical professionals. And I'm sure that by the time this is actually implemented, there'll be other carve-outs too for permanent residents and those who have family members. I mean, keep in mind what immigration is in the United States. You have U.S. citizens and permanent residents who are petitioning for their parents and their children and their wives and their husbands and their fiancés. These are people just like you and me who rely on the legal system. You know, before Donald Trump came into office, there was this thinking that the Republicans had, and it was, we're not against immigration. We're only against illegal immigration, right? Remember that? That was from a few years ago. But now that they have power, they're dismantling legal immigration. Victoria, hi from Russia again. We talked about my K-1 visa, and I still don't know what will happen with my visa. It's hard to say exactly what will happen in the future. I can't predict the future, but I think you should go forward. File your K-1 visa. Victoria, congratulations on getting engaged, by the way. That's amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment, and I'm very happy for you. Don't let this tweet derail your immigration dreams, okay? Facebook user says, hi, Josh, tell me what I can do if I see refused for my case I-730. Oh, I love the I-730. That's my favorite case type. I hope you contact me because I'd love to help you. Refused, in the words of the consulate, refused means temporarily put on hold. You know, refused does not mean denied. They want you to think it means denied. It's very, very misleading. Refused means temporarily put on hold. So your case is still alive. There's still a way to get it approved, and I hope you do contact me. Joni says, what documents? So what about the documents if they expire? Let me just see her question again because it was a good one. I'm looking for Joni's question. Pardon me. Here we go. Let's put this question on. Joni says, what about documents? If they expire, do we have to start over? No. I think the document that Joni is talking about is the actual visa. If the consulate issues a visa and the visa is set to expire and you're unable to travel to the United States, then you can ask the consulate to extend the visa. And this is something that we do routinely, and I hope if you need help with that, please let me know, but I don't think that's a big deal. Let's go to some other questions. Facebook user says, what about people who have the visa issued already? Well, we have a few clients in my office who have visas but are unable to travel to the United States because of airlines are not flying. They can't get a flight. In that case, I think you're looking to extend the visa, as I said in my last thing. Mohammed Abbas, how are you doing, sir? Well, you know, look, I'm working from home. My entire office is working from home, and we feel incredibly grateful and filled with gratitude for the fact that we're able to work from home. And I'm also grateful for all the people out there who are working in grocery stores and doing deliveries and doing everything they can to make our lives a little bit easier and more comfortable. And so those are the people, the medical professionals and people on the front line who really deserve tremendous respect from all of us. Let's see. Let's find some other questions here. All right. We have Carlos. Carlos, I hope you're well. How will this executive order affect people with I-765 applications? If you have an I-765 application that's pending, there's no reason in the world why it shouldn't be processed. So I don't see why an executive order would change that. I mean, maybe you paid a filing fee. There are regulations that lay out your rights and privileges. So I don't think that he can cancel your ability to get a I-765 just through a tweet. And I see that you're an MD. Thank you so much for your work, and I hope you're safe and well. And I hope you get your work permit soon if you don't have it already, and so you can help all of us out there. We have Machia. Did I say that name right? Thanks for the broadcast, sir. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is the second time I've gone live 2 days in a row, and I just really want to get the message out there that people need not to be discouraged. And it really bothers me to think of people changing their entire lives based on some tweet that he came up with. Don't do that. Emmy, let's see your question. Emmy says, I feel like I was so close to the finishing line after we filed our lawsuit for administrative processing delay. I've been dealing with the delay after delay after delay after I got my VAWA approved. Now with the outbreak of the virus, I feel like I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to make it back. Emmy, have confidence. This will work. If your VAWA was approved and you filed a federal lawsuit to challenge the administrative processing delay, then you are in a very, very good situation. Maybe the consulate will be closed for a little while. Maybe it will be difficult to get a flight back. But the trajectory of your case is correct. You're on the correct path, and I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to push your case forward. So my hat goes off to you. I think you're doing the right thing. Don't get discouraged, and good luck. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help. What other questions do we have here? Say something about the diversity visa results of this year. From Jojo. First of all, Jojo, thank you for your question. I hope you're doing well. You certainly look like you're doing well in your profile picture. The DV lottery is one of my favorite types of immigration cases because it's just a beautiful thing to be selected. But one of the things to keep in mind for the DV lottery is that you have to complete your case by September 30th of the year that you're selected. And it's really a race to see if you can get your visa issued before that cutoff date. So try to push your case forward and see what you can do to get it processed quickly. Miss Najib, thank you for your question. She said, do you have any idea? And she's on my YouTube channel. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, please, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a little love. I would really appreciate it. I just put 2 more videos up today. They're going to be released soon, and I uploaded them. I'm really proud of the video content that I'm doing. If you have any questions, I'll make a video just for you. But check out the YouTube channel, please. I'll put it in the comments if I can. But to answer your question, no one knows exactly when the consulates and the embassies will reopen. I have a client right now whose visa was canceled because of the coronavirus. They got rescheduled for August. So does that mean they're going to remain closed until August? I doubt it, but that gives you some idea of when things are being rescheduled right now. Tavo, thank you for your question. You filed a K1 visa. Congratulations on getting engaged. That's amazing. My wife married me. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. But thank you. You filed the K1 visa. Do you think it will be delayed? It was received by USCIS on January 27th. Will it affect me? Good for you for filing this. Get the application filed. Don't be discouraged. Keep pressing forward. Will it be delayed? Yeah, I think it'll be delayed. But you know what? A lot of things are delayed right now. Life is impacted. And don't be discouraged because something's going to take a couple of extra months. Or maybe it'll take 6 extra months. I don't know. But at some point, your visa will be processed. Your fiance will have an interview. And there's no reason in the world why you shouldn't push forward and be able to get that approved. Bhaskar says, please answer our question. I'm not sure where I see your question, so let me see if I can try and answer it. Bhaskar. Please put your question back again. I would love to see your question, and it would do my best to answer it if you post it again. Eddie, my main man, I hope you're well and you're safe, and you're having a great day in Dorchester or wherever you are right now. Thank you so much. Facebook user, is it safe to travel right now outside the United States as an immigrant? Oh, that's a good question. So there's a couple ways to answer that. First is, are you safe in a medical sense? Are you safe from the coronavirus for traveling? I am not a doctor. I'm not a public health professional. I'm not a virologist. So I can't answer that. I'll leave that to others. But when you say, is it safe to travel outside the United States, if you mean from an immigration law perspective, boy, I think that's risky right now. Because let's say I have one client. Let me tell you a story. She's a permanent resident. She's got a 10-year permanent green card. She went back to her home country of Indonesia to be with her family, and she's stuck. She can't get back here. She can't get a flight from Indonesia. She can't travel back. So she's stuck there, and she's worried that her green card is she's gonna have problems because she's been out too long. So I don't think now is a great time to travel outside the United States for anyone who is not a U.S. citizen from an immigration law perspective. Bhaskar, here we go. Thank you, buddy. Say something to those who got their DQ from NVC and are waiting for an interview. A DQ. What is a DQ? Where I come from, DQ means Dairy Queen. So I'm not quite sure what that means. Something about qualified, dedicated qualification, maybe. I think, well, I'm going to assume from the nature of your question that the NVC has finished processing your case and now you're waiting to get an interview at the U.S. consulate. I just think everything is going to take longer. The consulates are not conducting interviews at this point, and so people are going to have to wait longer. And how long they're going to have to wait, I'm not quite sure. Oh, thank you. You're talking about document qualified. People use these abbreviations, and it doesn't mean Dairy Queen, it means document qualified. Yeah, so as I said, it sounds like from your question, the NVC has done what they've done. They've processed your case, and you're just waiting to set up an interview. Let me say one thing about that. My office processes tons of immigration cases like this, even under the best of conditions, without any pandemic or anything. The NVC takes incredibly long amount of time to process a case. So we allow maybe 6 months or so just for a case to get through the NVC. And that's with a team of trained immigration professionals working on it. So if it takes us 6 months to get through that under the best of conditions, and now the consulates are closed, I think you're likely to have considerable delay. I don't know how long, but you have to be really patient and not get discouraged and hang in there. Facebook user, thank you, says, what does this mean for people who are already going through mandamus lawsuits? Is it going to delay the lawsuits as well? So I am a lawyer who files mandamus lawsuits, and just to explain what that is, I help people whose visas are stuck in administrative processing, and I sue consulates around the world to help people get approved. And we challenge the delays as unreasonable, and we fight those delays in federal court. And if you file a mandamus lawsuit and the consulate's closed, is it going to delay things? The lawsuits are going forward. The courts are open. I'm filing lawsuits. The cases are moving ahead in court. But if the consulates are closed, I think naturally things are going to take a little bit longer. But I still think it's an amazing advantage to have a mandamus lawsuit to challenge a delay. Because here's the deal. At some point, someone is going to get a visa out of that consulate, whatever consulate you're waiting for. And if you have a mandamus lawsuit pushing and challenging the delay, you're going to be the first in line and the first person to get your visa resolved. Let's see here. I'm going to switch to Sihab. Thank you so much for your question. I hope you're well. It says, will Trump's travel ban affect immediate relatives of U.S. citizens? That's a good question. Nobody knows for sure exactly what the executive order will, who it'll impact. But we will remain vigilant and we'll wait and see exactly what they say. Okay. Says Rihan, thank you so much for your question and for tuning in through Facebook. It says here, Trump's new tweet means no more visas issued for those who are stuck in an administrative process. Well, I certainly hope not, because I'm a big supporter and a big advocate for people who are stuck in administrative processing. I think there is a temporary delay right now. Consulates are closed. So consulates may not be able to process immigration cases for right now. So there is a delay right now. So Trump's tweet may not even mean much because he said it's a temporary suspension of immigration. Well, right now there's already a temporary suspension of immigration because the consulates are closed. So it may not even have any impact. It remains to be seen. Eddie says, I'm scared for my mom the 6 months period that she will be in Haiti. Eddie, I'm sorry to hear that your mother's stuck in Haiti. And if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. Bon courage. Bon courage. What other questions do we have? Here we have Osunoi. How about those who already have a visa? If you have a visa and you can travel to the United States, then you should do so immediately. Seek entry to the United States. Get on a flight. Come here. Present your visa and get yourself into the United States. All right. Here we have Amen. Amen Osman. Thank you for your question so much, my friend. And if that's a picture of your son, you have a beautiful child. He says here, I made a mistake of calling USCIS as if my wife is present. I basically faked that she's sitting next to me, and I fake her voice, and I got caught. What could happen? I need help. My case has been pending for 2 years. Whew, that's a very unfortunate set of facts. Get in touch with me, and we'll try and sort it out. I'd love to help you with that. That's very unfortunate. Here we have Joni again. I love your headscarf in that picture and the glasses. It's very cool look. It says here, fun question. How many countries have you visited that you have clients from? Oh, wow. I've been all over the place. I've been to too many countries. Taiwan, Morocco. I've been to Morocco many times. I've been all over Europe, Canada, Mexico, Central America, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Belize, Jamaica. I went to Jamaica for my honeymoon. It's fun to think about all the different places that I get to go, but since my children were born a few years ago, I'm staying home and changing diapers. Let's see. Amen. Get in touch with me. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Rayhan says lawsuits will definitely work, but after they reopen, regular visa route. I'm a big fan of filing a lawsuit to challenge delays right now, even though the consulates are not open, even though Trump is tweeting all this craziness. I'm a big fan of pushing forward and challenging these delays, because when the consulates reopen, it's going to be chaos, and people who have been waiting are going to have to wait even longer. And if you have a mandamus lawsuit in the works, I think you're going to be in a very, very good situation. Here we go. We have Asinue. Forgive me if I butchered your name. I live in Germany. Love Germany, by the way. Amazing country. Love, love, love Hamburg and Cologne. Visited those places. It's great. It says, I live in Germany, but I got a K1 visa since last month. Off restriction. That's why I can't fly into the United States on March 14th. Look to get your visa extended if you have to, and I can help you do that. I have a video on my YouTube channel about how to request that your visa be extended, but that's what I think you should look to do, and look for advice on that for me. Maggie Stuart, love Maggie. Thanks for jumping up to give people practical advice. Maggie, if you don't know her, is an amazing attorney. She's based in the Los Angeles area, and she practices Canadian immigration law. I'm definitely going to have her on my live show very, very soon. We've been talking about that. People ask me questions about how to get visas and status in Canada all the time, and I have no idea. I send them to Maggie. She does an amazing job. She's a fountain of information on Canadian immigration law. So this is great. So let me go back through and see if I missed any other questions. Here, YouTube, giving a little love to my friends on YouTube. We have Hausen Zarat. I hope I didn't say your name too far incorrect. Please, sir, can you tell us what the average length of time it takes for an immigration reunion for a green card holder? Okay, I can try. So the average length of time for a reunion for a green card holder, I'm not sure exactly what is meant by reunion, but let's assume for the sake of this conversation that you have a U.S. citizen based in the United States filing an immigration petition for somebody, a husband or a wife that's based in a foreign country. How long would that take on average? So the average time that I roughly tell people is slightly more than a year. Now that's under optimal conditions, under normal circumstances. So let's call it 14 months. But this, right now, this is not a normal circumstance. These are not normal times. So I think it would probably take longer. It might take you 18 months. Might take you less. We've only been in the coronavirus situation for a few months. It's maybe been 3 months. So it's very hard to predict where we will be 3 months from now. Here's a Facebook user says, is the naturalization process affected through this too? I think it's very hard for Donald Trump to impact the naturalization process through this, because naturalization is quite different than other immigration processes. This impacts the vote, and I think that courts are going to be it's going to be hard for courts to let him get away with changing the naturalization process just through a tweet. But in point of fact, in order to become a U.S. citizen through the naturalization process, you have to do biometrics. You have to go to an in-person interview where you have to for your naturalization exam, and then you have to attend a naturalization oath ceremony. So you really have 3 in-person meetings through that process, and all of those are impacted right now. So they're very likely to be delayed. But we are preparing and filing naturalization applications right now. Here we have Joni saying her grandparents were Canadian. I sure wish there was a loophole for citizenship. Joni, you got to talk to Maggie. If there's a loophole, if there's a way to help you get Canadian citizenship, I'm certain that Maggie can find it. So definitely want to reach out to her. I'll have her on soon. So the main message that I have for all of you today is not to get yourselves worked into a hysterical fit over Donald Trump's latest tweet. This is going to take a very, very long time for us to work out what it means, if anything, and what the actual practical effect is. I predict there's going to be months of litigation. It'll be several months before we know anything. And in the meantime, you need to assert your rights, whatever they are, whether it's to apply for a green card or a work visa or naturalization or whatever you can do. Just push forward. And if you need help or you want advice, please reach out to me. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. I'm going to be coming on live as often as I can to try to make sure everybody's questions gets answered. Stay safe, be well, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.